Hey, greetings from the Outer Rim. This is my 8 kilowatt Vivor diesel heater. I'm giving it a try. I've just started it up. It's maybe been running a half hour. I'm not going to have any real fancy calculations or anything going on here. I just want to give you my first impressions. This is supposedly an 8 kilowatt. I've seen videos where guys have taken them apart, a 5 and an 8, and haven't found any differences at all. So, you know, you be the judge of that. I've heard that the pump is really noisy, and I can tell you that from my bench, which is probably 40 feet away, I can hear the fan more than I can hear the pump. So, you know, again, you be the judge. This is a large space. It's just starting to lift off the 40 degrees mark. 16-foot ceilings. There's one fan. Normally with the wood stove back there and a kerosene heater up here and a good load of wood, I can get that up to 50 in about 2 hours. I think I mentioned this is about 1,500 square feet, I'm guessing. I calculated it out, but I didn't consider this. I just considered it all as 16 foot and all the way over, but that's all closed off. So I've got a quick, simple setup before I started punching holes in the walls. I got some kind of power converter off the Scamazon. It's probably too much money, but I didn't want to start farting around with a cigarette lighter plug because I don't want to burn this place down. That seems, I forgot what it was, 20 amps, 30 amps. Yeah, I didn't want to screw with that. So what I've done is I've got some little concrete pavers and I put them under the door to allow a space under the heater for the intake and the exhaust. And you can see I've got a little bit of a gap there, but this is a big building and it's drafty anyway, so I'm not really too worried about it. What I've done is I've taken some rock wool insulation, which is not flame proof, but it's a high heat kind of thing. And I've crammed it in there to, you know, take up space. I could go around the outside and cram some more in there, but you know, I've got other shit to do. Is it blowing hot air? Absolutely. I just turned it on. I didn't prime it or anything like that. I didn't put a fuel heater in it, or I didn't put a fuel filter in it. I did replace the little plastic line with, you know, black braid. It's not braided, it's reinforced fuel hose, 3/16. Looks like I've stepped on my elbow that didn't really fit anywhere real well. So far, so good. I can absolutely smell it. I thought I heard the fan kick on in the power converter. Yeah, the man door is all the way back there. I can smell it when I walk in, and it doesn't smell like unburnt or burnt hydrocarbons. It smells like, it smells like a new machine starting up, burning off cosmoline or manufacturing chemicals or what have you. So I'll shut up for a second and you can hear the fan way more than the pump. I'm guessing I've been about 45 minutes. It's just starting to lift off the 40 degree mark. Well, depends on where you stand. That's always the trick. I'm not real comfortable with leaving it alone right yet. That thing in the middle of the floor, you know, whatever. I'll go inside for an hour and leave that go. That's not a problem for me. But that thing, new and untested, I'm not real excited about that. I guess that's with any machine. You want to babysit it for a minute or two or 5 or an hour or a couple days before you're comfortable that it's doing what it's supposed to. Especially when, you know, it's when the quality is questionable, you know, Scamazon. So my interest in this is, one, circumstances the way they are, which I'm not going to bother to explain. I've got this nice wood stove available to me. However, my wood supply is less than ideal. I've got some more outside, but not much. And it's like the 5th of January. So, you know, I don't have to be out here, but when I do, I don't want to freeze to death. So where I am, off-road diesel is under $3 a gallon. I bought it for $2.50. I bought 5 gallons, and if this will run 8 hours on high and only use a gallon, I'm not sure if you're allowed to say this anymore. I just won't say it. You know, if I can heat this shop up to 50 degrees with this in 8 hours and not freeze for $2.50 or less than $3 a gallon, great. I'm in. Ordering wood at, you know, January is not what I want to do. Worth noting, K1 kerosene where I am, I'm up near the PA Ohio line. K1 kerosene is $4.50 a gallon. In Ohio, in the PA side, it's about $5.50 a gallon. So, you know, do you want to spend $4 a gallon, or do you want to spend half of that? We'll go around and have a look on the outside. Oh, I can smell the exhaust out here as well. Oh, that's less than ideal. It's charred the grass, and it's charring the rubber. I guess we'll have to do something about that. I would like that to be away from the exhaust. That's hot. It's 20 degrees out. Yeah, it's definitely hot. I'm gonna have to do something about this rubber. Dang hot. Yeah, as you can see, my wood supply is not huge. Again, this is a temporary setup, so, you know, I don't know. I don't want to start punching holes in the walls of this building until I know that it's going to work. You can see the bricks. I don't want to bend the exhaust, the silencer, or whatever you have it. I don't want to bend it up so it's facing up and trap condensation. So my better option is to lift that rubber up out of the way. Get a tin. I got a piece of tin. Maybe I'll make a little reflector there and set that there. Okay, I got a little piece of sheet aluminum there to block some of the heat from burning up that rubber. Again, this is just a temporary installation, just as a test. And I'm not trying to mess with the rubber under the snow and whatnot. So, and maybe that smell inside was that rubber wafting through the inside or getting sucked up. That should be sealed though. That intake should be sealed and not come in, whatever. You know what I'm saying. It should come in the intake go through the combustion process and come back out here. It shouldn't enter into the building. And I can see why guys want to scavenge the heat from the exhaust, because that's, I mean, it's 20 degrees out and it's burned the grass. Interesting. Okay, worth noting, the tin sheet there, or aluminum rather, has stopped the smell inside from the burning rubber there. And despite being flame resistant, you can see the rock wool is discolored, so that may not be a long-term solution that's safe. Let's see what we got here. Wow. I thought the rock wool, I looked it up on the internet, it was good for 500. This is getting around 3. Interesting. Trying to get right inside there. Very interesting. Okay kids, it's been about 2 hours. I went out and I ran a snowblower. That guy's still chugging away back there. I've opened the door twice to get the snowblower out and then back in. And it's just starting to lift off a 40. So I would say that this test is inconclusive. It's useful. I could see it being very useful for a smaller space. It's better than freezing because you don't have any wood for the wood stove. I could see it being used in conjunction with the kerosene heater, which I'd rather not spend $4.50 a gallon. I think if I could scavenge the exhaust heat, I'd be further ahead. But using that in conjunction with the wood stove or another heat source for a large area like this would be good. I think that was on sale for less than $100 when I bought it. I got a coupon or some bullshit that was like 40. If you're running it inside, make sure you've got some kind of safety shit. We've got a carbon monoxide alarm here and you know, the spray thing. What the hell is that called? The fire putter outer. There it is. So, inconclusive. I'll keep fooling with it. It works. Again, it puts out hot air. I think the exhaust is hotter than what's coming out of the end of that tube. But hey, cheap, portable. Absolutely, you could throw it in the back of your truck. You could throw it under, you know, whatever you're working on, a truck or a tractor or an outbuilding, a shed. You know, if you run out of propane or something and you got to heat the mechanical room so your well doesn't freeze, whatever, a small space. So, okay, inconclusive, but thanks for checking out my setup or whatever. If you got any bright ideas for me, let me know. I'd love to hear them. Thanks. Hey, you know, as a side note, I don't think this thing's gonna run 8 hours on a gallon of diesel right out of the box. When I filled it, I didn't pay too much attention, but I was probably 2 marks up from where it is now. It's about 50%. I probably had 2 dashes more, and it's been like 2 hours, less than 3. And the other thing is there's nowhere to put your gloves. The wood stove, you can put your gloves up on the top and warm them up while you got the other pair on. There's nowhere to put your gloves. You might be able to drape them over the pipe there, but I don't know. I hope that helps you somehow. Is it worth it though? Yeah, I think so. Especially if you got a 2-car garage or something. I think so. That's nice warm air coming out of there.